Happy birthday to me. So I just turned 44 over the weekend, and I thought this would be a perfect time for me to review what I've learned this year and what are some of the things that kept coming back to me. So here we go. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Suzii, and this is In the Pocket with Suzii. This is a tiny little space on the internet where you could come in for a little bit of support. This is also a space where we dig a little bit deeper in who we are so that we can show up in a better place out in the world. So there has been a lot of changes in my life this year, specifically transitioning from life coaching and going into relationship coaching. The things I realize is that all the things that I do in life coaching, my focus is on self-love, developing self-love, getting into this adventure and love of self-discovery. What I learned is that when we are able to cultivate and be in the space of constantly being curious in who we are, one, we don't get bored. Two, we really learn to discover the beauty within us. We also learn that who we are is who we get to be with day in and day out. And because we can't leave ourselves, wherever you go, there you are. So therefore, the more we get to know who we are, the more we get to love who we are, the more we get to learn how to navigate through the peaks and valleys of being us, the more beautiful this experience becomes, the more enjoyable life becomes. Anyway, so this idea of self-love is so important to me. And what I learned is that this life is all about relationships. All the things I'm doing, what I am doing is trying to improve the relationship with myself through love, through understanding. And why do I want to do that? So that I could be more enjoyable in life, so that I can enjoy the relationship in my life, in relationships to self, relationship to siblings and families, relationship to friends and significant others. This life is all about relationships. So that is the reason why I have moved myself into this space of relationship coaching, at least for now. So we'll see how that goes. And with the relationship coaching, I am embracing deeper and fuller into my being an artist, not in a conventional way. The part that I have been struggling with is, how do I be an artist? Or do I just have to be an artist? Or am I focusing in coaching? Is it too much, too little? And I was spending so much time on trying to figure out which path to go down into, that I'm actually not doing the thing that will help me learn. So the few lessons for this year in figuring out those things for myself or leaning into the process, the number one thing is to embrace that raw authenticity. The person that I am is one who truly and deeply share from the heart. And often it's inconvenient. Often it's uncomfortable, and so often it's non-logical. Now, what does that mean in real life? I can't help but think through my heart. That is just who I am. But in the world outside, it doesn't feel as safe. It doesn't feel as comfortable. It certainly isn't convenient when you are in a situation and you're listening to something that is against what you believe in through your heart, and it's much easier for us to be quiet, for me to be quiet and just let it be, than speaking from the heart. But if I don't speak from the heart and don't express from the heart, then I'm really suppressing not only my own voice, but I'm echoing, reflecting, and being out in the world that it is okay to not express who you are. So I'm not only hurting myself, but I'm doing the collective a non-favor as well. So embracing again and again this raw authenticity, however that comes through, as long as your intention is kind, is through love, then whatever it is that is coming through, it will be received on a certain level, to certain people at a certain time. So that's number one. The second one I have is something that it needs to be relearned over and over, and it's always going to be continuous. And that is, lesson comes in layers. Things that we are embarking on right now, the journey of healing, that is a forever journey that has no end. And I have to remember again and again that healing is not a one-stop shop. It's not a instantaneous thing. It is not something that you can read it and then get it and then that's it. No, it is something that unfolds in stages, in layers. It's like this massive onion, right? That you learn about something about yourself. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand it. I'm embodying it. One layers that comes off. And then something else you will come in and you will have to revisit that again and again. Healing and this journey of learning and growing and evolving is like a mixed bag of like pace, and it comes in different sizes. Sometimes we can go through certain part of healing. We could really compress the time and have a bulk of this like healing done within whatever minute or month. Other times things that's harder and deeper and that we have been working so hard to bury it in, that will take time and that will go through many stages. So that process we just have to surrender to more and more. And even the remembering that, connecting to the last video, being patient with that. That is the process of being patient. You have to have the patience for this process. There's no rushing it. So if you're being impatient in this process, that's not going to help it. So that is a big one. The other one is about celebrating these tiny wins. So you have, these bigger landmarks of like breakthroughs that you go through, whether it's something that you have accomplished or certain big traumas that you have like broken down, and healings that you have sort of dissolved and go on to the next stages. Those are the big things that you have, which of course you will celebrate, and to celebrate those things. But in between the breakthroughs are these like breakdown moments, and those are the ones that you really like nourish and you really take time with, and those are beautiful too. So peaks and valleys. But in between, these breakthroughs and breakdowns are these micro moments or micro landmarks, micro station that we often miss because they're so little, and it's as if the way that I see it is, when you're going down the freeway and you have your destination, and let's say those are your big sort of landmark points of breakthroughs. And there are like so many side streets on my mini exit that goes through. If you're just so solely focused on those things, you often don't see those, this route also go into all these, so many different places. Or, so that's just the way that I can envision those many stations that's worthy of celebrating. And when we are able to do that, then we're really seeing sort of beauty in these micro moments. And when we are celebrating these micro moments, then we're able, one, to really slow down in life and not only living life for those big moments, but really honoring and seeing deeper beauty in life in everyday moments. So you become more curious, you become more aware, and you're just able to attune to beauty in life and nature. And being able to identify and cherish these little moments kind of defines more to who you are and what you are able to see and be with. So it's a beautiful thing. And the last one is probably the hardest one. It's the hardest one that's for me to remember, which is that our own path, our own unique path, is what truly matters. So I'll say it again, our own unique path matters. It matters so much that we have to let go to conform to these traditional paths, even those ones that's like proven to be successful, proven to work out, to be even beautiful. We have to lean back and come back to self-trust and listen to the voice within and feel into who we are, to not only discover our own path, but really believe in that path, really loving the every step that we take on that path. That's where our personal evolution happens. That's where the uniqueness of our beauty and our life and our guidance and everything that we want to be celebrated comes from. Like our own life, the uniqueness and the beauty comes through us. And that can only happen if we, again and again, embrace the uniqueness of who we are, this unique path that we are on, and continue to carve and create and build on. Everything that we think we see out, everything that we see out that's really beautiful, that really resonates with us, it's not for what it is. It's really because that path was so uniquely to that person, to the thing that you see, that it reflects on what we want to ultimately uncover and embrace within us. So this is a hard one, right? Because it's just a natural urge to conform, to feel belonging into what's out there. But we also know when we take a moment to step back, that is also what hinders us from really feeling that deepened love for ourselves. And again, this year has been a big one for me, navigating through this path of being an artist and now pivoting into relationship coaching. I've nurtured really myself coming back to this space of really self-trusting. What does that look like? What does self-trust look like? And really embrace loving bit by bit my own distinctive path. Even this whole thing that I am saying that I'm relearning, it's a continual process. So I'm relearning it now. It's much more of who I am that I am embracing, but I need to show up with a little bit of action each day to believe in that, to trust in that process. So just like my journey, your journey is unfolding right now in this moment. And your journey is your own masterpiece. You're creating that in every word and every action that you put out in the world. You are creating your own masterpiece. And every step of the way, twist and turn, all of it, that's you being a masterpiece, creating that masterpiece. So keep at it, keep going, keep believing. And when you need help, because we all do need help, right? Along this way, reach out. There are always someone who's willing to help you, but it has to come through from you. You desiring the help, you wanting to look for the help from yourself and from the world. Me being one of them, whose role, whose purpose is to help through love and just being that shining light. So I am here if you need that support. So that's it for today. My name again, Suzii, Suzii, 2 eyes, because I believe the I in me sees the I in you. See you later.